All right, we just closed on John and Wendy's Lake House. Congratulations, guys, and welcome to Lake Martin. And thanks for using me. And y'all had a couple of bits of advice for buyers, I think, on what y'all enjoyed about the home buying process, and maybe some pointers you might have for buyers. John, I'll start with you. You came in late in the game in our home looking. Wendy kind of was your scouting out a little bit, and you kind of came in. What was the funnest part about it for you?
Well, I think that a couple things. One is that you can't have a good experience unless you have a high comfort level with the person taking you around. We really thought that you did a great job in just kind of setting the table about what Lake Martin is. It's such a huge lake, and people don't realize that. And so to get kind of focus on where you need to be needs to have someone with expertise and professionalism on the lake, and that was incredibly helpful. The second thing is that you took us on the boat, and that gave us a different perspective of the lake, and it gave us a perspective of how close things are, and it gives you a perspective of the view. The beer was good as well, but I would recommend that everyone get in a boat, because that's, water is what you're about with Lake Martin, and so to get that vantage point is really important when you're looking at property.
Okay, thanks. Wendy, you did a lot of the pre-scouting. How did you go? How did you start? Did you start with a big, huge list, or how did you first get started?
Honestly, it started by just surfing the web, and I looked at your website, like Martin Voice Realty, and there was a very helpful section on there. We did not know, or I did not know anything about buying a house on the lake, how that differed from buying just your home, your primary home.
Okay.
So I looked at it, and there was a list of questions that you gave us. Things like, do you have to take a boat ride in the middle of December? Because there's the lake issue with the water being high and low at different points of the year, and I thought, that's true. No, I don't. So that answered questions about what my priorities were. Am I going to be spending more time outside, inside? If so, what room in the house?
Yeah.
So those were areas I could pinpoint as priorities as I was looking at the properties.
Yeah.
And that was incredibly helpful, just to kind of get my mind around what I needed to be looking for when you brought me to the different properties.
Okay.
And then coming to the different properties, you answered questions almost before they came to me, simply because, again, not as familiar with what I needed to be asking about for lake property. So that was very helpful. The questions kind of got my mind set, but then you were a wonderful tool to kind of prioritize and answer questions, and really kind of get me focused on what was important as we were looking for things.
And so the boat ride didn't hurt either.
That didn't hurt, because we knew we're outside people.
Yeah.
So, you helped us focus the priority on the view from the point of where the dock is and the water.
Yeah.
And so we were more interested in what was around us outside than necessarily the house. The house is great, but we're not spending a whole lot of time in the house, and so we didn't overbuy on the house.
Right.
Some people, that's really important. They need new, and so for us, that wasn't really important. So you kind of knew where to go for us, and that became I think really important.
Okay, well, great. And so we're about 4 or 5 days from Labor Day weekend. Y'all have any big plans for this weekend? It sounds like maybe you're going to have a little work party down here?
Yeah, so we're going to make it our own. I mean, and you gave us a really good piece of advice as well, which is, spend a half a year or a year living in the house before you go make some major decisions on expenditures of interior and contracting, etc. Live in the house, make it your own, then make decisions on what to do inside, and you'll probably save yourself a heck of a lot of money.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys. Anything else?
Look forward to it.
Can't wait.
All right. Welcome to Lake Martin.
Thanks for your help.
All right.